using Xrp and for using Ripple to transfer money globally at speed between LPs, companies, funding, etc. But the crypto libertarians to this day rail against Ripple and Xrp and anyone who will deal with them, including Arrington XRP. So Brad, some of these crypto libertarians, some of them have actually literally called you the devil. Are you?
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
No, I'm not the devil.
Can you prove it?
Look, I think it's an interesting place to start, in part because I think there are a lot of religious zealots in the crypto space. And I think people believe things in a way that you would kind of describe as religious zealotry. You know, Ripple took a contrarian view pretty early in our evolution and said, look, if you want to really revolutionize the way payments work, if you really want to revolutionize the way transactions work in this regard, it's not going to happen by everybody giving up their existing infrastructure and just switching to something new. As much as I am actually a bull on Bitcoin, the Bitcoin blockchain is not, there's not going to be one ledger to rule them all. Ripple invented a series of technologies built upon the XRP ledger that allows institutions, banks, and even in some cases governments to take advantage of these technologies and dramatically accelerate the nature of transactions.
He's fully into talking points now.
Look, I'm trying to explain, the thing I'm getting to is simply the idea that the people who say that Ripple is somehow, your word, the devil, it's because we're partnering with the man. We decided if you want to enable an internet of value, you got to connect to the repositories of value. And the repositories of value are the banks.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe. If you do like what you're listening to, please inform your friends and family. It is a very, very imperative time we get back to understanding finances and understand how the world really works. Because when we understand how the world really works, we understand that everything is planned out. The game is rigged. So we need to take advantage of that. And as we know, today is Sunday, so I like to do a special video. So I have a special video at the end to really make you think. And plus, it's going to tie into everything I've done for the past 2 weeks. I want to thank those who purchased the book, Cryptoteacher NWO book. Also, those who donated to the Cash App Patreon. Much love. And guys, we want to get into the money first. Bitcoin, cryptos. Right now, basically, we have CME and BITMEX contracts closed yesterday. As you know, we either dump at the beginning or we'll dump a little at the end. So fact is that we pumped a little bit going in. We have the institutional investors now trading, so that's keeping us stable. Of course, the institutional investors leave on Sunday night. So the fact is that basically we're going to take a leg down, but then of course, once that is over, we're going to have a sharp increase until BOC next month in May, in the middle of May. So get yourselves in position. Make sure you're watching the stable coins, because the stable coins are going to tell you everything. Basically, guys, if anybody tells you that stable coins don't run this market, turn their channel off. I proved it time and time again. The fact is that stable coins are nothing but liquidity, guys. That's all it is. It's giving the stable coins a pump, and that's what happened in 2017. Where do you think all that money came from, guys? Come on now. Tether had went from the bottom from 2017 all the way up to the top. How did that happen? Institutional investing. Come on, guys. That makes no sense. So anybody, any channel, anybody, page, anybody that tells you that stable coins don't run this system, turn them off, block them, because they're not trying to make sure you're making money. Remember, this is the only channel that you're going to learn how the world works, plus make money. I make sure that you're making money, especially if you're a trader. This is easy indicator along with your normal chart, so therefore you can make money. Now, as we know, like I stated, stable coins, blockchain, of course, that is going to be the future. Why is it going to be the future? Because the fact is that they want to track everything. They'll be able to tax everything. That's what a whole point of blockchain. Like I stated at the beginning, guys, blockchain would have been the greatest invention known to man. But the fact is that in the wrong hands, it is the worst invention. And all of your cartoons growing up, basically all your Marvel, it's always someone that wants to take the world over, and then you have the good guy that wants to stop it. So guys, that's reality. That is reality, and we're seeing that come into play today. Now, going over to the markets, as I found the article back in 2016, says the Rockefeller family leaves the oil business. Guys, I wrote in both my books how oil will go down. The fact is that this whole economy is going to go to, of course, 5G and electric. So the fact is that this economy is just moving. It's just evolving to the direction that the NWO wants it to move. Now, the fact is, as we know, right now we have a lot of QE and money printing and the Fed buying corporate bonds, which actually is illegal. They're buying stocks, ETFs. As far as with the repo market, they have toned down the repo market because they're buying everything else. So guys, make sure that you're digging in, getting those stocks that are worth it. I've done plenty of videos on that. Invest in the stocks that you know that's going to make it through the long haul. You don't have to buy right now because, of course, we're going to dip again. But the fact is that if you are an educated stock buyer, you know the emerging markets. Right now, the dollar is strong. Use that to your advantage and go buy those Asian market stocks. Plain and simple, because right now we're 8-1 or even more if you're going into India. But China, we're 8-1, close to 8-1. So you have to take advantage of that strong dollar. Now, of course, right now we have stocks going up, like I stated, with the American economy going down. Why is that, guys? And the video at the end is going to show this. Remember, I stated, United States is going to go down. China is going to have the rise. So this is going to be the end to America's middle class. So you're only going to have the poor, you're going to have the rich. And the fact is that they have this system in place where you're going to see that if you're poor, bad credit, you're not going to be able to move. The only thing you're going to be able to do is go to work. And then basically, of course, the rich is going to be able to go wherever they want to go, do whatever they want to do. That's why I said this channel is very important. Send this to your friends and family so therefore you can educate them. Guys, this is the most important time of your life. When I say it, this is the most important time of your life. Whether you want to believe it or not, we are the chosen generation that's going to decide how the future generations live. Unfortunately, that is the case. And it's going to decide what you want to do. So therefore, you're just going to have, in the United States, like I said, you're just going to have the slaves and you're going to have the rich. But the fact is that that's the whole point of this digital currency and them allowing China and these overseas markets to take over the digital economy while the United States is lagging behind on purpose. We know that Trump signed the executive order in 2017 basically giving the plan away. So we know that they know that we're going towards this market. But the executive order just allows them to push their foot on the gas when it's time. They're allowing China to be ahead of the game. And I'm going to prove that at the end of this video. So, guys, we have to understand that this blockchain system is a great system, but in the wrong hands, it's a bad system. Now, they tried to, in Connecticut, they used the drones to fly above people to see, get their body temperature and track them. Guys, this is very, very important for you to understand. That's all this is. The blockchain system is just going to be for tracking purposes. So the fact is that you want to get your debts paid. You want to get yourself financially secure because you do not want to be stuck in the system that they have planned for the masses. But guys, that's all I have for you. Please enjoy the video at the end. Don't forget about the books, Cryptoteacher NWO book. The cryptos, if you're new to cryptos, you're new to this channel, you'll have Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Also stocks. Guys, I go over the stocks that are going to make it. Of course, your gaming, your chip stocks. So, of course, NVIDIA, Micron, Qualcomm. Also, never ever bet against the banks. You have cobalt. Of course, that's going to replace the oil. And then also there's a few more minerals that are going to replace the oil. Also, don't forget everybody's sitting at home, so don't forget about those stocks. Those are temporary stocks now. Also with the C word, those are temporary stocks, the bio stocks. So therefore, if you are an experienced trader, you can get in, get out. Don't forget, guys, when people have anxiety, depression, they do what? They drink and they smoke weed. Don't forget about those stocks. And y'all have a wonderful day. And like I said, enjoy the video.
So when people look at the Council on Foreign Relations, in effect what they've been doing is looking at a kind of a veil which hides the order?
Yes. The core, or my work, came about almost by accident. If someone had not donated to me the membership list, we wouldn't be here today. It's remained secret because nobody has done that. Everybody's been looking at the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergers. They're not truly conspiracies because the membership lists are open. The membership list of the order has not been open. So there's a distinction between the CFR and the Trilaterals and the order. CFR and Trilaterals are not conspiracies because they are not secret. They do what comes naturally. And this, of course, is very different argument to many people who have promoted conspiracy have made. They get across the idea that these people telephone each other and have little drawings and maps and diagrams. They don't operate like that at all. If you meet these people, they think alike. They talk alike. They come up with the same idea simultaneously, and they move simultaneously. They know what they have to do.
So they're a breed.
They're a breed. Exactly.
Now, Tony, what has this breed done? What are their chief accomplishments in molding domestic and foreign policy and actual events in American history since their founding at Yale?
One is they have acquired enormous political and financial power. You'll find representatives of the order in politics.
What have they done with this power? What has happened to America that would not have happened had they not been the order?
Creation of war and revolution.
Specifically, which ones? Do you have documents on that?
The third book in this series, which I'm bringing out, takes 2 wars and 1 revolution. Well, 2 revolutions and 1 war. World War II, the Bolshevik Revolution, and the rise of Hitler, which I call a revolution in Germany. We can find the order behind the Russian Revolution, the Bolshevik Revolution. We can find behind the rise of Hitler. We can find in the maintenance of both of these systems, the transfer of technology to both.
Since you've already proven that Wall Street is behind the Bolshevik Revolution and the rise of Hitler, now you're proving that the order is behind Wall Street.
Exactly.
Now, who's the key figure in the order or figures that mold Wall Street?
In order of dominance, Averell Harriman, partner in Brown Brothers Harriman. Stanley of Morgan Stanley. It used to be J.P. Morgan, then it became Morgan Stanley. Those 2 are the key.
Now, what did the order want to accomplish in the Bolshevik Revolution?
You create opposing forces which you place in conflict. Out of conflict, you've got profit, you've got political power, and you can direct history. And if you look at the writings, for example, of the Trilateral Commission, they talk openly in the Trilateral Commission about managing conflicts, not solving conflicts, but managing conflicts. Conflict management, that's the cry.
So they got the profit, the power, and the management. Mm-hmm. Where do they want to steer history through the Bolshevik Revolution?
They wanted to set up, and they did, 2 opposing forces. Out of that came World War II. There were logical steps in the process. They used the same bank, Guarantee Trust Company, as the conduit for the financing of Hitler, and also as a conduit for financing, and also the early days of the Russian Revolution. In fact, in Russia, Soviet Russia in 1923, a vice president of Guarantee Trust Company was the foreign director of the Roscombank, which was the first Soviet overseas bank that was set up. They were that close in those days. You will get a very close relationship between the early Hitler days and members of the order, which is in the third. I think the order has been at war with the United States in general since 1833.
Christ is the nation that has itself founded upon a constitution that guarantees, absolutely guarantees, the rise of the individual.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the problems. They cannot live with the Bill of Rights. In fact, this is why when Archibald MacLeish, a member of the order, wrote the Constitution for UNESCO, it was built into there that UNESCO would gradually try to erode press freedoms. In the Trilateral Commission, you'll find the same criticism, too much freedom of the press. There's just too much freedom for these people. They can't live with the Constitution. They tried to change the Constitution through the Fund for the Republic down here in Santa Barbara. They've not been successful yet, but they realize that there are roadblocks they've got to overcome to achieve what they want.
The most unfortunate thing to me is that when the people have coming at them from all directions this momentum of the order, they turn and espouse the order or they let these people, or have in the past, become their idols, accept that they are an elite, accept that fact that they are superior, accept the projection from them to the people that they're superior. And today you will find people agreeing with the limitation of freedom in various sectors of this country for various purposes.
That's a very unfortunate part of our society, that too many people are willing to abandon freedom for security, or what they see as security. You can get security in a Siberian gulag, but you can get freedom in Hitler's concentration camp. But too many people are willing to give up freedom for security. Too many people are willing to look at these people as miniature gods. And because they have achieved power, don't ask how did they get power or what they're going to do with the power, but just the fact that they have power makes them a god, and therefore they worship them. This to me is unbelievable. People, I put in one of my books, we've got 20, 30 million degree holders in the United States. People who've earned a college degree, but they don't question the statements which are made by these people.
Well, it's an amazing thing that people, educated people, can accept that the interference with private property rights, or with the press, or public assembly, or religion, free speech, the interference with that can somehow be necessary to the continuity of the republic, or the security of the nation.
It's ridiculous. I can't answer for these people. All I hope is that they will examine their own consciences and their own mind.
Well, Tony, I think that in conclusion, it's very important that we understand how you develop in your third book, which is about to come out, the development of conflict to produce war or peace that they're choosing, and how that has worked, let's say, in Vietnam, or in the situations that are occurring today in the Middle East, where there is great conflict. How is the order managing the conflict we see on the globe today?
Well, it's, as I mentioned before, basically it is using the Hegelian dialectic. You establish one side, then you establish the other side, then you bring them into conflict, then you manage that conflict. So you establish Soviet Union, you establish Hitler, you bring them into conflict, World War II. By managing the conflict, you can control the next decade or so. And as I mentioned, we built up the Soviet Union. We're building up their China today, communist China. We're even going to send them military technology. So by 1990, 2000, we've established the two sides. We bring them into conflict.
Now tell me, why does Reagan go along with these agreements with Red China, which he just did, to supply this technology? He's not a member of the order. Why does he respond to its stimuli?
Because you've got a group within the administration who are members, who are connected with the order. When you get a group of quite capable men working together, they can wear down opposition, they can erode opposition, because they're all kind of marching in step. If you get 3 men marching in step, they can do more than 20 men marching to their own step. You don't make my point here. And within the order, for example, or within the administration, you've got, for example, Mr. Bush, and the people around Mr. Bush, Mr. Baker, Chief of Staff in the White House. And gradually you've seen the weeding out of those individuals who are independent. They've either resigned or they've moved out to other departments. So in effect, the order has taken over.